Hey, welcome to Widow Too Soon. This is your host, Mark Massaro, and I'm here with my good friend and co-host, Michelle Ebersol. Nope,
Not quite.
jumping the gun. Michelle Bader. For the
Michelle
last
Bader.
time,
I know. So
Michelle
wait.
Bader.
Yeah, I'm like, you have to
Bader,
introduce
Bader, Bo
me.
Bader, Banana Fana, Bo Bader. Sorry. What?
No, do it right. It's the last time
It's the last time
introducing me as Michelle Bader.
introducing.
So can you do
Okay.
it correctly?
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, for the last time, I'm introducing you to Michelle Bader. How was
Hey,
that? Was that better?
that was good. We practiced with our DJ how he's going to introduce us, and it was so cool. Like hearing it,
Nice.
like because we were at his house practicing because Haley and him are singing a song, our first dance. Anyways, then we were practicing, and he was like, "Introducing to you, Joel and Michelle Ebersol." Well, he's like Joel and Michelle Bader. No, I'm like, no, no, no. Ebersol. He's like, I just see your emails and it's Bader. So I wrote it out for him. I'm like, it's Ebersol. Because wouldn't that be funny if he introduced us as Joel Michelle Bader?
Yeah, I would just hear the DJ, like the music just scratch and stop. Like it's like
Yes.
everyone's like, what? Yeah.
Yes. But
Yes.
I'm not gonna like change it on our podcast artwork, and like the fans still will know me as Michelle Bader, but I think we can
The
introduce me.
fans.
The fans, I
That's so
mean,
funny.
all two of them. Just kidding. We know that there's more. Thank you, fans. Thank you.
Fans.
Okay,
We have
let's say
fans.
listeners. That sounds better
I like
than
listeners. Yeah. It
listeners than
sounds so silly
fans.
to say we have fans.
Anyways, we haven't
But I
even
like
gotten
it.
past the introduction. So, how are you?
Oh,
Wait,
good.
did you say your name? You did. Okay.
Yes, I said my name.
And then you said mine. And
Say
here
my
we are.
name, say my
Say my
name.
name. You're
Sorry.
acting kind of crazy. Yeah, that's it. I got it. Okay.
Yep.
How
So
what's
this is Mark Massaro here.
yes.
Just in case I didn't say it. And what has been up with me lately? Well,
Yeah.
I have some good and some bad. And
Okay.
I will go with the bad first because I try to focus on the positive. My mom is not doing very well. I got a
Hmm.
call that was really difficult, and at the moment, I will probably just leave it at that. But just to, kind of say that I'm not sure how much time she has left.
Sorry.
So that's been hard. Thank you.
Yes.
I have a very interesting relationship with my mom, but I would not like to get into that right now because
Yeah.
that's not what this podcast is about. But so that's been difficult. It's just been a lot of hard feelings because I guess I'll get into it a little bit. It's just that
Okay.
there's it's kind of confusing to know how I should feel.
Yeah.
Um because of a lot of past experiences. Of course, I love her and am sad knowing what's going on, but I guess I would just say I don't have as close of a relationship with her as a lot of others do with their mom.
Mm-hmm.
And also I had some weird feelings that it's like my dad left when I was very young and then he passed away. I found out, in 2010 that he passed away in 2001. So to know that
Wow.
like my only direct bloodline is my brother.
Right.
And obviously my children, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And so that's been kind of weird. It's kind of like this feeling that I wouldn't really explain to many people, but I guess I'm about to explain it to
Here you
hundreds,
are.
but it's just this odd like alone feeling like wow,
Yeah.
like I'm kind of alone in the world, and I mean I'm not,
Right.
because for one I have my in-laws, I have my amazing girlfriend who I hope to marry, and all these
Yeah.
other things, but just direct family, it's
Right.
just kind of weird to be like,
I'm
whoa, like
sure.
there's none of us left.
Right.
And so it's just been some stuff I've been processing and
Yeah, it's a lot.
trying to get through and stuff, but so thanks for letting me talk about that for a minute.
Yeah.
And so on to the good stuff.
Yes.
First, my friends are here. They arrived.
Yay.
They are going to be moving into their house very soon here. and they've been staying with us for the last few days. So it's been, there's been some neat experiences with that, like getting to go with them to the park, for example.
Yeah.
It was just kind of neat, like just standing there with other parents
Yeah.
and just being like, oh, this is cool. Like I'm not just like, it's not just full on kid time at the
Yeah.
park. They're off playing, and I'm, I still get up on the playground. You know how I do. I go down the slide and I go down the twirly whirlies, and
Oh, that's
I'm
whirly
still
whirly.
small enough to fit down all that stuff. So, but my son's all proud of himself because he finally went down this slide that he's been scared of since we moved here.
Aw.
And now he just wants to go to the park all the time. And I'm just like, I told you, dude, like once you
Yeah.
go down that slide, you're gonna love it. And so,
Yep.
anyways, it took me going down with him. Anyways, I don't know how I
Yeah.
got into that, but it was cool, hanging out at the park with my
Yeah.
friends.
Are these friends from California?
Yes, yes.
You
So
like
some
somehow you
more-
got more people from California to move?
Yes, I just put out the fishing hook, and no, I didn't want to. I made it very clear, like, I'm not really trying to convince anybody to move here. I
Right.
want you to do it because you feel led to move here.
Yeah.
And I don't want it to have anything to do with me, So
Right.
I jokingly told all my friends to move out here. I would never actually convince anybody to move out here because it was right for me. What might be right for me may not be right for some.
That's not a song.
Yeah, it's what was it? I think that was a song from Different Strokes. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, that was
wasn't a real
great.
song. It just, that's how my brain works. When I hear like
Uh-huh.
when I speak and I say a lyric, I just can't help but starting to sing it. So Tina has to deal with a lot of my high pitched singing. Like I'll just be having a serious conversation, and like there was one I sang to her today. It was what's the I was telling her that, like, she's the one, and then I was like,
Mhm.
you're still the one I run
Run
to.
That's
She's
a
like,
good
see, you don't
song.
like country, but you're sitting here
I
singing
think
Shania
it's
Twain. I'm
Shania.
like,
Yeah,
oh,
I
is
was
that
gonna
who
say,
it is?
yeah, it's Shania. That's a good song. I like
So I
that
told
one.
her I was gonna go wash my mouth out with soap. No, I'm just kidding. I don't loathe country music or anything. It's just not my favorite.
Yeah.
Anyways, but onto the really exciting stuff. My girlfriend's birthday is coming up, and we're about
Yay.
to leave out of town for us tomorrow. For you listening, I just got back yesterday. So,
Nice.
because wait, right?
No,
Yeah. Or are you
no.
putting it out early?
I'm putting it out on time tomorrow morning.
Oh my gosh, I forgot what day it was. That was
Uh-huh.
terrible. Because I was
like,
originally planning to go see her on Wednesday, and then I
okay.
backed it up. So that's why I was thinking. I was like, oh wait, we're recording really early. Anyways, so yes, I will be
Happy
leaving.
29th birthday, Tina.
Yes,
Just
yes.
like me.
Tina's turning 29.
Just like
But
me.
we're going to her neck of the woods.
Nice.
And we're gonna go visit for a few days, and I get to meet her son, which I'm excited
Oh,
about.
that's awesome.
Yeah, and a lot of other family, her sister and brother, hopefully, and some friends maybe.
That we can say her name now. Like,
yes,
so
say her name, say her name. See,
Okay.
see, sorry.
Because it was like I was afraid I was always gonna slip and say her name.
I know.
So and just say Mystery Girl, but now we can actually say Tina, and that's a super cute name, and she's super cute. Like she really is. She's cute.
Awesome. Yeah, she's just
good job.
She just
Good
lights up my
job.
world. Thank you. Thank you. She totally reached out to me.
Hey,
but no, but yeah, she's amazing, and even more than how cute she is and all that. She's just such a wonderful person. She's just so awesome. So anyway, so yeah, I'm excited to go visit her, and the road trip out there is just absolutely beautiful. We get to drive through Kentucky into West Virginia.
Wow.
And so it's a really, really pretty drive. I'm sure it's, not because you live in Washington, it's very green.
Yeah. Yes.
So that's not unusual for you, but Southern California, where I lived, was very brown throughout the year. Not now. They're getting some crazy rain.
Oh, like snow too, right?
Snow, yeah, everything's all green. Yeah, they got like record snowfall levels in all kinds of places. So even where I lived, it snowed. I heard it snowed at Disneyland. I heard it snowed in downtown LA. I don't know if that's true. But those are very, very rare events. So anyways, very green there now for those of you in Southern California. I know it looks beautiful right now. But where I lived in Southern California, when I lived in Orange County, it was a lot more green, a lot more beautiful. But then I moved out to Lake Elsinore, which is a much more desert-ish type area. It's very, it's very built out, So it
Mhm.
doesn't feel like you live in a desert, but it looks like it when you look at the hills and the mountains and everything. It's all
Mhm.
brown. But anyways, so the drive out to see her is always so beautiful. It's just through like lush forests, and it's just
Wow.
really, really pretty. Yeah, it's just gorgeous. So I love the drive, but mostly, most of the excitement obviously is just going to get to see her,
Yes.
and spend her birthday with her, because it's gonna be her
Nice.
birthday, like I said. So that's cool. That's what's been up with me. Is probably some other stuff. I'm still working on my real estate school. As I mentioned, I got my
Nice.
GED, so I am officially a high school graduate. I know I've
Awesome.
said that in 3 episodes in a row now, but
It's
I'm super
good. Be
proud.
proud. You should be proud.
And so I like talking about it. So I'm like, yeah,
Mhm.
whatever. I get to fill out a different check mark on, or checkbox on certain
Yes.
applications now and stuff, and it's cool. It's just, I'm very proud of myself for having accomplished that. So I'm tearing it up, going through the real estate. It's a lot of work, but I'm enjoying it. My son likes sitting on my lap and doing it with me, so that's fun.
Oh.
So anyways, why don't you tell us a little bit about what's up with you, and then we'll get into the episode.
Okay. Well, the main thing I'm excited is in 5 days, 2 hours and 40 minutes, I will be married.
That's
Yay.
amazing.
Right?
That's amazing. Yes.
Like, I can't even believe it's about to be here. Like, forever, it was so far away. And now it's like in days, and all of our friends and family are arriving in a few days, and we're doing the last minute details. You'll be happy to know I hired a line dance instructor for the wedding, for the
Oh, thank
reception,
God.
right?
So happy to know
We're
that.
so happy to know that. Like, she's not going to teach. I was like, I don't want you to like teach one song. I can do the songs. So I picked out like 10 songs. We can still add some more. And like, I love them. I can do them. I just need to see somebody up in front doing it. So
That
I
makes sense.
hired her, and she's going to come lead line dancing. Like, it's just been like full of these last minute details. My son Hayden came home from college on Friday, which is exciting, but I had a serious weird grief thing happen. I actually kind of mentioned this on your post where you were saying that um that your daughter looked like Lacey.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I we're sitting at the dinner table the first night, and Hayden's talking to me, and I just start tearing up. Like, it looked like Luke talking to me. He goes, it's because I look like him, right? Like, he guessed it. I was like,
Mm.
yes, because now he's getting close to being 19, so he's looking more like a man. Like, it just was so weird. And Joel was there too, and he saw that and said it was touching just to see. Like, he doesn't get mad about things like that.
That's awesome.
We talked
Very
about it
secure
later.
man.
Yeah, to see me like almost crying, but that was weird. But it's cool to have him home. Him and Joel are getting haircuts right now, getting all ready for the wedding. Like, Hayden's hair is like so long, and he has like a full-on beard. Somebody said he looked like, oh, I don't know, like a werewolf something the other day. I was
Teen
like,
Wolf?
not Teen Wolf, but it was like a werewolf. But like, I'm
Okay.
like, did you bring? So I bought him like some special razor last time. Like, did you bring it home? He's like, no. I'm like, well, you're gonna have to use a regular
Wait, wait,
razor,
wait,
like
wait. You bought him? Oh, razor.
like
Okay,
a
I missed the
special
word.
electric razor or
Okay,
something.
yeah.
And then, so, anyways, he's getting his hair cut, he's shaving. I'm like, just, I can't see your eyes, and we're having pictures that, hopefully we'll have forever. So I love that to be done. And Joel needed haircuts. Anyways, they're out getting a haircut right now. And let's see what else. I had my 29th birthday also.
Absolutely.
And that was fun. No grief anymore. Like, it was all about Joel spoiling me. It was like, okay, I think it was like Friday or Saturday. I'm like, so my birthday starts now, even though it's Monday. And we went out to eat, and just like, it was all his whole thing was like, you get to choose everything. Like, I'm like, can we watch a Hallmark movie? And he's like, yep, your choice. So everything was my choice.
That's
It was
awesome.
wonderful.
Do you
All of
still
the
have your Hallmark membership, or was
I
that just a
do.
Christmas time
No,
thing?
this year I did it the whole year. $65 for the whole year.
Splurged.
I know. I was like, I'm having this year round, and there's a lot of good shows. And so we did that. All three of my kids wrote me like heartfelt, or they did things. So like, Hayden texted me like a really nice thing about how inspiring I am and how strong I am. And then Haley she made a gift and like wrote this thing about how she's like, I'm so inspiring, same kind of thing. And then Peyton made me a video
Oh,
and just about how
wow.
strong I am. So they all had the same theme,
That's
and
cool.
that they're happy for me. And so that was cool. What else? Like we had a really great dinner with Joel the other night. It was the second dinner with the three kids and him, and just about, he explained, I'm never trying to take your dad's place. I want to be your friend. I want to be your support person. And I love hearing about your dad, which I don't think he'd ever said that to them before. So that was huge. And then they were able to express, like we just talked about, you need to express how you're feeling. And they were able to talk about it and how they are happy for me, but it's hard. And so that was just a really good step in the right.
Because they can have both of those feelings, right?
Yes. And you know what? I want to read something that I wrote that just reminded me. So we decided at the beginning of our wedding, we want to read this thing about grief and happiness, how you might be feeling most of those things. And now this is not my original idea. There was another widow, I don't remember her name, who did this, and I saw it on Instagram. And so I took a little bit of hers, but I wrote my own, and I'd love to read it to you guys.
Yeah, totally.
So it's not super long. So we're doing it at the very beginning. Like after I walk down the aisle, the pastor's going to say that Joel and Michelle have something they want to share. It's kind of like the elephant in the room. Let's address it. Let's talk about this. So thank you so much for coming here to celebrate this joyous day with us. We understand that today you will be filled with many emotions, some of them conflicting. We want you to know that whatever you are feeling is okay, for we would not be here today if both of our families had not experienced countless tears and years of grief. We ask that if you come here today with lots of happiness and excitement, you take a deep breath and realize that while today is good and joyful and beautiful, for some people, it is a reminder of what isn't anymore. We ask that you pray for those who are deeply affected by this pain. Neither Joel or I or our kids got here without first experiencing immense brokenness, the loss of a husband and dad, and the death of a marriage and family unit. We also ask that if you come into this wedding with sadness, know that we hold that too, and pray that you can see the beauty in this uniting of families and experience joy today. In our lives, both separately and together, we have seen God turn mourning into dancing and make beauty from ashes. We want you to know that it's okay to feel both happiness and sadness, and that one does not cancel out the other. It's important to feel all emotions. For what we feel, we heal. Over 2 years ago, I felt God promised me that he would redeem and restore all that I had lost and bring back the joy of my youth. And here we are today, that promise being fulfilled in a way I could have never dreamed of. God is the ultimate healer and restorer of hearts, and we pray that you feel and see that today.
Wow, that's really beautiful.
Thank you.
I really like that.
Yeah, it's just like showing everybody that it's okay, because both of our families in different ways have experienced grief. And, really I think my kids, they like it too. I've read it to two of them. And I think it helps them feel valid. Like, yes. Like this, I'm glad that you're acknowledging that this isn't easy for me. I know it's not easy for my kids.
Yes.
And so we just wanted to acknowledge that and be like, it's okay. So really excited to have that done. And anyway, it's just been like doing all kinds of wedding stuff. And when it gets crazy, I try to remember this is fun. Like, and I do remember that, like, cancer is stressful. Wedding planning? No. Like when people are like, isn't it so stressful? No. Like, this is not stressful. Yeah, it's a lot, but it's not like someone dying. Like, it's all perspective. And that's like, I'm doing all this to have a great day because I'm getting married. Like, I'm happy. I'm so happy. Yeah, so that's kind of a lot about what's been going on with me.
That's great. No, and seriously, that's so beautiful.
Thank you.
I really like that, and I really was like feeling it as you were saying it. It's just, gosh, it's so neat to just put it into words like that.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of pain, obviously, and you guys didn't choose these. You didn't choose to be here to a certain degree, you know what I mean? And so that's really neat to like just kind of put it into words like that for everybody and address it. I think that's super cool. So you are welcome. What can I say except you're welcome?
You're welcome. Oh, that was Anyways. Good. That was really good. Real good.
So good today's episode is called, as you probably read in the title.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Days away from being married and widowed. So today we're going to be doing things just a little bit differently.
True.
I'm going to be sort of asking Michelle questions and sort of an interview
All
style.
right.
And just for the record, I don't know what the questions are yet. I feel like they're just going to come to me. But
Okay.
I think, well, I'm just saying we didn't, like, as always, we didn't
Yeah, we
pre-plan
didn't-
this.
no.
So, if I say a few extra times, forgive me.
Remember when I used to
I
used to cut out every Do you know how long that took
Oh
me?
my gosh, I forgot.
Like the first
I
couple
remember that.
episodes. I'm like, this takes
Yeah.
forever. Now
Girl,
I
can
don't
you stop saying so much? But I think it was both of us, right?
Yes.
And like,
and I was like deleting them out. Oh, it took forever. It's better to
we're
just
from
be
the West
real.
Coast. Like, we
That's
just
right.
say like it. We need these filler words. Actually, I know
Like-
it makes you sound uneducated. Not you, like in
I
general.
get what you're saying.
I don't hear it that way though. When I hear people saying
No.
and like a lot, until I notice it, and then I can't unhear it.
Yeah.
So anyways, so I will start with, first of all, what joy are you feeling? And let's just start that. What is
Okay.
talk about the joy that you're feeling?
There's so much. Like I feel like a giddy little girl. Like I'm so excited, which I feel is the joy of my youth, that I felt God promised me that, to review other episodes, I was at a grief retreat and I pictured myself at this field running across it when I was a kid. And I felt like God said two things to me. I'm going to restore the joy of your youth, and I'm going to redeem and restore everything you lost. And it's like seeing it actually happen. And just the way that it happened, I actually did a little TikTok today. I hadn't done one forever. And I was talking about let God write your love story. Like, I remember crying to my best friend, like, where am I going to find somebody who loves it? And she's like, let God write your love story. And I know you feel the same way. Like, you had no idea how it was going to happen, and God wrote your love story. With a little thanks to Michelle for starting a podcast, but
Yeah.
But
give a little credit where credit's due, right?
But I mean, really, God had to write that. We had to meet first. I mean, so many factors had to happen in order for our love stories to be written. And so I'm just feeling the joy of that. I'm feeling like, wow, like down to like the miracle of my house and how I got this and how I have this and like just all these miracles. I'm like, God, you are so good. I'm just feeling the joy of partnership because Luke was sick so much. We didn't have a lot of partnership as far as him being able to go out and do activities with me. And like, it was the norm that Luke wouldn't go with me, not because he didn't want to, but because of his sickness and his pain. Like, I just assumed he wouldn't go to things. And with Joel, it's the opposite. I assume he's going unless something big comes up, and he goes with me to everything. And he was like, he's picking up the kids today. Like, he just does things for me that, like, I know Luke's heart wanted to, but he couldn't. And so the joy of partnership, I think that's something that I'm feeling. The joy of, like, I only have to say goodbye to him at night 5 more times. Like, I hate saying goodbye to him at night. I'm like, can't wait till you can just stay. Like, it'll be so great. Even though he only lives a mile away and he comes right back in the morning, it's just that point that I'm excited to wake up to him every day and to have like a partner again. That was one of the hardest things about becoming a widow or widower for me. It was the nighttime being alone. And I'm excited to have somebody next to me. Like, I'm excited about having a partner in life. Like, I had that somewhat with Luke. He couldn't do everything he needed to do. And then now it's been almost 3 years since he's been gone. And just like not feeling the weight of everything on me anymore. The responsibility is not all mine anymore. And then like, we're about to connect our finances, and like, it's all the financial stuff is not on me anymore. Like, all the decisions are not on me. Now, of course, he will never discipline my kids or anything, and they don't really need it. Like, they're good kids, but like, he will help me make decisions, but I will do whatever needs to be done. But just having another person to bounce ideas off of. Okay, what do you think about this? What should we do in this situation? Like, just feeling that camaraderie of like, I have that again. And if you are widowed, especially if you're newly widowed, like, this is not to make you like sadder that you don't have that. The point of this is to give you hope. If this is something you want, some people never want it again. That if you are wanting something, there is like, I didn't think this was going to happen for me. I knew God gave me the promise, but I didn't know how in the world, and just to review, Joel and I went to college together, reconnected over Facebook. And here we are. And so I guess the joy that I'm feeling is just all of those things combined. And of course, I'm excited to go to Hawaii. We're about to go to Hawaii. I'm excited to celebrate with all my friends and family. The last time I had a big event, it was Luke's Celebration of Life, like where people were flying in and all of that. And so I'm just overjoyed to have it be a good event, like where we're truly celebrating. And just I'm just so happy. Like, I don't really know how to explain it other than like, I feel so thankful that God has given me this gift of Joel, and we get to share our lives together. And it's an adventure. Like, he's very adventuresome, and like, we're excited about our future. Who knows where we'll go? Who knows what we'll do? You know, he used to be a missionary, and he said he may want to do that again someday. And I'm like, okay, like, well, we'll see what the future brings, you know, and it's just exciting. So
that's super cool.
What I'm feeling.
That's really neat. And I think, you know, this would probably be an important place to like interject and say that we understand that a lot of you listening are very new to this. So the thought of what we're talking about is probably hard for you to wrap your heads around for a lot of you. And that's okay. But I also want you to take into consideration that we are both almost 3 years away from, also, it wasn't sudden for either one of us.
Right.
So it was a long time of, you know, watching our marriages fall apart because of sickness and illness. And so, and Michelle and I have focused a great deal on leaning on God for healing.
Yeah.
And leaning into the Lord and having this much time go by that we've been doing life by ourselves. For us, the idea of being married again is super exciting. But that being said, we still miss our marriages to our spouses, and we always will. But it doesn't mean you can't be excited for your new start in life. And like I said in that other episode, it sounded kind of harsh, but like someone said, just because they died, you don't have to.
True.
And it is harsh. Honestly, it's harsh, but it's not meant in any harsh way. It's just a reality of life that like we're always given options in life that either you can quit and disappear into your sadness forever, and people would understand. Or you can choose that you don't want to live that way for the rest of your life, and that you want to try to find joy in life again. And I know that's what Lacey would have wanted for me and the kids. She doesn't want us to be alone and, you know, struggling and, you know, different things like, and I know that Luke wouldn't have wanted that for you to be alone and struggling. And so I say that just to put sort of a preface on it, that it's okay to be excited for a new chapter in life. And I think it's beautiful. And I know that majority of the people listening really understand that. So, but I just wanted to say that.
So no, that's important.
Then again, the most obvious next question will be, tell us about the grief that it brings. Not necessarily, I mean, you can go into specifics if you want to, but the grief that it brings knowing that you're about to start a new marriage. I would imagine that there has to be something that you could touch on with that, you know, not that it means you're sad, but just that it has to bring some reality to the situation all over again. Cause we do that, right? In widowhood, we kind of go through these phases of having to remember over and over again that we're, you know, that we lost them. So what do you think about that?
There's definitely been grief along the whole journey of like going back to when I first started getting back in the dating world at all. There's always pieces of grief with that. And then getting into a relationship and then getting engaged and now about to be married. There's been different parts. I think my hardest grief is still for my kids. Just the fact that even Hayden was like, I would have never guessed when we were having our family dinner, you know, if he would have said 5 years ago, you know, even though his dad was dying at that point, well, he was a couple years away from it. I would have never thought we'd be in the situation where you're getting married again. Like, it's just so hard for my mind. Like they're having a hard time. I mean, they're accepting, but it's conflicting. They're having conflicting feelings. And so my biggest grief that even, another marriage brings up is for my kids, that this is hard for them. They're adjusting to like, there's going to be another man living in our house. And like, oh, just even like Hayden told me, so he tried on his suit for the wedding, and then Joel was kind of like adjusting it for him, trying to figure it out. And he was like, even that was weird for me. The last time someone did that with me was Daddy. Like, just even that feeling was strange for him. There's going to be all these little moments in them that bring up stuff. And just even probably right now, going with Joel to get a haircut. He used to do that with Luke. Like, so there's probably always going to be things for them that are like, oh, that's a little bit different for me. And I think I mentioned it last week that I had a grief moment while we're like packing away. I had Luke's clothes. I'm just putting some of them away for later. They were under my bed. We had to get a new bed, all these things. And then I see this framed picture of Luke and I on our honeymoon. And like, he was looking at me and like, what would Luke feel about all this? But I had to realize, like, in his perfect state, like, it's all good. He'd be happy there's somebody taking care of me. But it's just, I can't even explain the feeling when it's like, whoa, I'm about to be married again. Like, and then there's grief that comes with that. What if I lose another husband? But then it's like, I can't live with that. I can't like live in fear.
Because if that day, God forbid, ever comes, that you will have to walk through it again.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's like, you can't live in fear of the what ifs.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And I was okay, so I would be okay again, but praying that never happens. But
yeah, of
just
course.
the just different moments. There'll be grief, but it's a lot less now. Like I said, it's for my kids. Or that moment when he looked just like Luke, like it was literally like Luke talking to me, like his eyes, his face, except for Hayden's hair is really long, and the beard and all that. But like I could see his eyes and everything, and it was just like, whoa, like this is so strange. But I don't have a lot of grief moments. That doesn't mean I love Luke any less. I've been explaining that in doing some of my grief recovery sessions with actually people who are listeners, and just talking about, it doesn't mean you love your husband any less if you are taking steps to move forward, because that's a common fear. Or if you date again, doesn't mean you love your spouse any less. Some widows wear it like a badge of honor, like, as long as I grieve and don't date anyone, that's how much I loved my spouse, my late spouse. That's not true. So yeah, so I would say most of my grief is for the kids, and then I have a little bit here and there. And then I just had this weird urge. Like, I was right by Luke's cemetery where he is buried, or his ashes are buried in, yesterday, and I wanted to go visit, but it was raining. But I decided tomorrow I'm going to be back out in the same area. Like, I just want to go. I can't even explain exactly why. I just want to talk to him, even though I know he's not there. It's something that I do once in a while. It's been a long time since I visited, and I just want to go and just be like, I'm getting married, and I don't know, just something that is part of my process. I just want to go by myself, go there tomorrow, the week of my wedding. And I don't know exactly why, but
it doesn't matter why.
Yeah, I don't have to know why. It's just like something I want to do. I'll probably bring some flowers and just have a couple moments, like, quote unquote, talking to him. But usually I'm just praying and stuff like that. So that came over me. But most of all, I don't have a lot of grief, but a little bit, to answer your question.
And that's that makes perfect sense. I think that's well, it kind of reminds me of the episode that I recorded by myself a couple episodes ago. That you don't have to let go.
Yeah.
You don't have to let go of the love. And I think what helps the healing process is, obviously there's the stages of grief, and then you come to one of acceptance. But I really mean that on a deeper level. Like, when you've come to accept the reality that they are not coming back,
right,
that helps you move forward. Yeah. Because you don't have to feel guilt about it, because you can't hold on to something that's not, it's not like you have marital troubles and you're holding out hoping that you guys can reconcile your marriage, and then you would feel bad moving forward in that instance, potentially. And so it's not like that. And so I think that's really helpful for people to get to that point where no matter how much it hurts, because it hurts, because you and I
Yeah.
both walked through it, it hurts, but you have to accept the reality that they are not coming back. What do you want the rest of your life to look like? Because no matter how much it feels like they are still a part of your life, because it does, unfortunately they're not. And so you
Yeah.
do have to come to this realization that like, I want to find joy again. But for me, that, or what I was explaining in that episode is that doesn't mean that I have to let go of Lacey.
Exactly.
I bring her forward with me. I still
Hmm.
cherish her and love her, and I'm so thankful and grateful for the beautiful life she helped me create, the beautiful children, the amazing family that she connected me to, that still love me and care about me and want good things for me. And so, but it's, of course we wish it never happened,
Right.
but it did. And when you get to a place of being able to accept that, that's when you can move forward with your own journey, and healing process for sure.
Hmm.
So, okay. So my next question for you,
Okay.
this is
Yeah.
just kind of one that I want to know, but I'm sure everyone
Okay.
else would be interested in this too. I have a very hard time, with Tina, because Lacey and I used to always say, I can't wait to grow old with you.
Mm,
I'm gonna love you forever. And I can't wait to,
yeah.
whatever, all these things you'd say that now feel very hard for me to
Uh-huh.
say. And I
Oh.
always have to
Hmm.
preface it with, well, God willing. I always interrupt myself, when I'm like, I promise to treat you well forever. Well, only God knows how long that
Right.
is. You know what I mean? I feel like I
Oh
always have to
yeah.
say that. And it's so hard to just speak freely the way
Yeah.
I want to, in the way that I want to love her. And do you experience that?
Oh yeah. Like when Joel's like, um, we'll love each other for the rest of our lives or something, or I'm like, well, we don't know. Or like if he'll be like, something he said the other day about the rest of your life. I'm like, well, we don't know, like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't mean to
yeah.
sound harsh. I mean, and I don't say the forever things. I don't say, and he doesn't really either. Because I think he knows that I don't like that. So it hasn't really been like an issue so much, but just I've noticed it that
But you noticed it.
I noticed that
Yeah.
I don't want to say that
Yes.
because I can look back at notes and cards with Luke and all these things like, I love you forever. Oh, this one was like, I just threw it away as I was cleaning things. I took a picture to remember it, got rid of it was one of those big cards. It was a Valentine's Day card. And it was like, I'm going to be your wife forever, even in heaven. And
Mm.
like that can't happen. Like I can't have two husbands in heaven. And we know we've talked about this in episodes, like it's biblically not correct. But at
Mm.
that, and we used to joke about it. Like I was like, no, we are gonna be married in heaven. He's like, that's not how it works. I'm like, well, we are. Like, I can't not be married to you. But now obviously I get why that can't be the plan too, because you could have
But you
several
know what? We
spouses.
can say comfortably, I will love you forever, because we
Well,
will
I
love
guess
each
that's
other in
true.
heaven.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course, you know what I'm talking. I'm talking about the things where, like I said, probably my best example that I can think of off the top of my head is like, I can't wait to grow old with you. Or
Right. Yeah, that's a good one.
or when I see people, and I love seeing them, I'm happy for the people, but when I see people, hey, happy anniversary, baby, happy 10-year
Yeah.
anniversary, here's to another 10 years. I'm like, you
Right.
don't know that you're going to get 10
Right.
more years,
Do you write
and
that?
I can't know. I know, right? That'd be so messed up. But I just can't help, my brain goes to that dark place, because I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
you don't know that. Like, don't, also, you don't want to watch people take their spouses for granted, because you know how fragile life is. They might not feel, they're like, oh, we're young,
Yeah.
I'm like, Lacey was 34 years old. That's young,
Exactly. That's young. Yeah.
and so that was the one question, is the saying forever. That was just a personal thing. But so this kind of segues me, what I just said, into my next question. So what new stuff are you going to bring into your marriage, and or what experience from marriage that you had with Luke is going to strengthen your marriage with Joel?
Oh, those are big ones. Like what new stuff, like things that I didn't have in my last marriage, or what do you mean?
Uh I don't know why you got to call me out.
You
I thought it
sounded all
sounded
smart.
clever. Answer it however you want. No, just kidding.
Um,
No, but just no, like what stuff that you didn't have in your marriage, and maybe I can think of an example.
yeah, that'd be great.
So a lot of times, I was like nervous about going and doing things with Lacey. Because it's just kind of my personality. For some reason, I have like it's funny because I can perform really well in social settings.
Yeah.
But I'm very nervous leading up to them. So like, and I don't mean like perform well, like it's a performance when you go to like a
Yeah.
family dinner or whatever. But when I know there's going to be a lot of people there, and even though I know it's people I love and they love me and we're going to have great conversations, I still get this like anxiety about going to them. And so I used to like sometimes not want to go to things. And I mean, I went to them because, I wanted to make Lacey happy, but
Yeah.
I don't want to bring those fears into a new marriage. I want to just be me and be okay with who I am. So is there anything, and that might be kind of a question that requires more thought.
Well,
You might not be able to think of an answer on the fly to that specifically, but just, is there anything along those lines that you want to talk about?
yeah, and I think I lived this way in my last marriage too, after so many years of sickness, but it's to really carpe diem, seize the day, and cherish every moment. And if it's not cancer, it's not that big of a deal. Like those things, like Joel and I had something difficult come up in the last few weeks, and it had something to do with like money stuff and all this stuff. And I was like, you know what? It's not cancer. It's not a big deal. Like, it's just like, if money can fix it or time can fix it, it's not a big problem.
Yeah.
So
Or even for those that are listening that didn't experience cancer, it's not death.
Right. It's not death.
So,
Yes.
so same difference, but I just wanted to like add that for people,
Yes, that just keeping that in perspective. And I've already done that many times with Joel. Like, well, it's not, and he already has such a positive attitude about everything that's not hard for him to have that attitude too. Like, he's always looking at the positive. And so definitely continuing that on. And, like I said in the beginning of the episode, I'm just experiencing something different with being able to do all these things with Joel. I can't think of a lot of things that I would do, like I'll do differently. It's just
okay. So what about the next part of it? Like, what do you feel like? Yeah. Like, what do you feel like, because of your experience as a wife, that you will be, let's say, comparative to when you first got married and you were newly married, never been married before, you learn a lot after being married for so long, right?
Yeah.
So what sort of things do you feel like are just going to kind of be easier starting a new marriage?
Oh, I know I can survive anything. I know I can be 100% loyal, committed, because I went through like the worst things and was by Luke's side. And so I don't have any doubt that anything that hits us will be able to survive because I've been through it. I mean, and I know I believed that too when I was young. I was like 24 and naive, like never really,
you were saying that inexperienced.
Yeah. I have a lot more experience now, actually living through death. And so I'd say that's a lot different from like the beginning of our marriage. And then also, obviously, like I didn't have kids at the beginning of the last one, and this one being so much more experienced on how to deal with kids. I don't know. Like, I don't really know everything except for like, I know I'm really good at being really loving and a really loyal wife. And I know how to love well. Like, I love a lot and like intensely. And I feel like that's something that's a positive. It can be a negative in the wrong situations, but in this situation with my soon-to-be husband, it's a really, really good thing because I know he'll feel supported, and he already does in everything he does, and loved and cared for. But I don't think that's not any different than my first marriage. I guess it became stronger as I went through everything with Luke. Like we got through so many storms. There were like today, for instance, we're driving to school. We see an ambulance and a fire truck at the neighbor's house, like a few down. And I go, oh, I don't miss that feeling. The kids are like, yeah, I know. I'm like, remember when the ambulance used to come to our house a lot? And they're like, yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah. Like
that's sucky. It's so dark.
Ugh. And it was just like, whoa, like we got through so many storms like that, so many hospital visits, so many things. And it's like, I know no matter what, Joel and I will survive anything and everything that comes at us. And it's a good feeling. Like I've done that before. I know I can do it again. Like I know without a
I would
shadow of
imagine
doubt.
it also, because you also in marriage, you really learn how to love. It's
Yeah.
not just naturally being good at it, but you learn how to love a spouse. You learn how to work together. You learn how to sacrifice. You learn how it doesn't always have to be your way or whatever,
Yeah.
and that you have to give and take, and all these different things. And so, yeah, I was just kind of curious about that
Yeah.
because I know that there's a lot of things that I learned in marriage that, I was much better. I feel like I was always a good husband to Lacey. I
Yeah.
know I was, but I feel like I was even better towards the end, and
Yeah.
I feel like it's taught me well, um, a lot about women in general, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? So I feel like what I learned, there's so many things that I learned from Lacey that
Right.
I automatically get to apply to Tina.
Right.
And just about well, for example, like I don't want to have to be asked to help around the house.
Right.
That was
Yeah.
something I didn't really know because Lacey and I were just different. But
Yeah.
I learned a lot about like what a husband should be and what a husband should do for his bride and all these different things. And so like I don't want to have to be asked to help. I want to
That's
just
good.
get up and
Yeah.
help, and
Right.
I don't want to have to be asked if I could do the dishes sometimes or whatever. I just want to do the dishes and just serve.
Yeah.
And those were things that I knew come, year 8, 9, 10, whatever. But like
Right.
I
True.
maybe didn't know for the first few years. And so there was a lot of growing that we did
Yeah.
as you learn how to put two lives together,
Mm-hmm.
that creates a lot of experience. And so also kind of leads me to another question.
Okay.
So you've been living life alone for
Mm-hmm.
3 years. Oh, just about 3 years, but you know what I
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah.
Doing everything alone. So, and that's all men and women, generally speaking, I don't mean to sound, assumptive or anything, or like women can't do this and men can't do that, but like generally speaking, men have certain roles, women have certain roles.
Mm-hmm.
You and I and everybody listening, we've been doing both roles for
Yeah.
so long. So what are you most excited about not having to do anymore?
Everything that has to do with fixing, like fixing, taking apart, doing like even today. So, um, Hayden's bed broke, which I think he's just outgrown it. Like it's a kid, it's a twin size bed. And we were going to put a new bed in his room anyways, but just a little bit before they left today, they were in there with the screw gun unscrewing thing. It was just nice. Like I don't have to figure out how to do this, and he can teach Hayden how to do things.
Yeah.
Anything to do with cars or like all of that stuff, or mowing the lawn, or like anything that I don't like doing. We don't have near my old house. I remember the first time I set a mouse trap and just like things like that. My curtain fell down. I couldn't reach it. He came in and fixed it for me, just like everything. And he wants to do it. And it's so awesome. So just to have all, and even the things like he's been helping picking up the kids so I can do the podcast, like things like that. It's been so nice because
That's
it's
so
just,
cool.
he's been, in the area about 2 months. And so just having that extra person to help him, I forget sometimes, or even, on my birthday, he wanted to let me sleep in. So he came and got the kids and took them to school. So I didn't have to get up. Like just such nice things. I love all that, but I'm so like happy to give up trying to fix things and figure things out. And like, one day my dad was like, it's so great. It was like right before Joel came and one of my chairs broke at my old table. And he was like, it's not my problem anymore. Joel's coming. And so it was, I'm thankful
That's
to have
awesome.
my dad and my brothers who helped me with things over the years.
Sure.
But it's so, so nice to have Joel here. So yeah, there's tons of things that he's already doing that I absolutely love. Oh, and bills. I don't like that. He's just already taken out when something comes in the mail. Most of it is, automatic, but anything that's not, he goes on there and pays, and like just all that stuff that I hate figuring out. And like he's talking about, I don't know, investments and blah, blah, like things I know nothing about. It's like, yeah, we got to invest in it. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, it's just nice.
I can already tell you right now, there's so many people listening to this that are like, oh, I want that again so bad.
Yes.
And I know there's some listeners that have gotten remarried and some that aren't even ready to think about that yet. But I know
Yeah.
there's a large percentage of you, I'd say right in the middle,
Yeah.
that are hearing you say this and it's like, I want that so bad. And so I know for men, there's a lot of things too that are, exciting to, for me, I'm most excited about having a partnership again,
Yes.
like you're saying.
Amazing. Yes.
And just like one of the things that I just get so excited thinking about, and when I think about marrying Tina, is discussing things together.
Yes.
Not having every single responsibility be on my shoulders.
Yes.
And every single problem that needs to be solved, like, because we're human. I don't always pick the right answer, you know what I mean? It's not always the right thing, but one thing that I'm like, I tell Tina, I'm like, I swear to you, I will fix everything.
Yeah.
I will fix everything. You don't have to take care of your car anymore. You don't have to, you don't have to pick up dog poop. I will do all of it. If you will do, and not if, but just saying like, and what I want you to handle like kids' doctor visits and dental appointments and keeping track of stuff like that. And those are the things I hate. I'm excited to have somebody to grocery shop with.
Yes.
I'm excited that when I want to, go on my super healthy eating kick, that I have somebody to do it with.
Oh yes.
Somebody
to
motivate me, somebody to like inspire me. And there's just so many things I think about that I'm so excited for us to join our lives, because I miss that. Like, the depths of my core, I just miss that, bilateral relationship where it's like, you do this, I'll do that. Right. I don't have that. I run around with a headache all day trying to freaking take her. And I also, now this is on me, but I keep a very, very clean house.
That's a good thing.
So it is a good thing, but it's a lot of work between keeping, like I've had people say, well, your kids are in school and you have that time. I'm like, you don't understand me though.
Yeah.
I don't just come home and sit down and watch TV for the day. I come home and I'm
working on stuff,
fixing things or upgrading something or changing something or handling something. And there's so much to do.
Yeah.
And that I will get anxiety if I don't stay on top of everything.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited to have half of that taken away, like that just sounds so exciting. And I know Tina feels the same way. Because like, I just know I can hear it in her voice when we talk about things, and she talks about this thing that her dog damaged or whatever. And I'm able to be like, and I can hear how bad it seems to her. She's like, oh my gosh, he chewed up this or he chewed up that. And I'm like, hey, like I can fix that. That's easy. Yeah. Like I could fix that for $20, and like, and she's like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. And but she's, and you too, I know you're the same way, but she has done a remarkable job at fixing things and doing things and taking on that role. And I'm like really proud when I hear she like changed the spark plugs and coil packs on her daughter's car. And just all kind. I could list a whole bunch of stuff she's done on her own. That she just built a fire pit in her backyard. She liked mine.
Wow.
And the fire pit her husband built. But she built this beautiful surround area, like with timbers, and filled it in with rocks, and she laid down all the plastic and everything. It was just awesome. So I was like really proud of her. But I know equally she is super excited about not having to do that stuff anymore and just having a man step in and say, hey, like I got this. Don't worry about it. I got the tools to fix it. I got the know-how to fix it. Like I got it,
Yeah.
You just sit in the house and drink some iced tea, or whatever,
Yeah. And just like the cooking part of it, like he loves cooking, and then he says he likes it when I do it with him. Like it's an experience, it's something together. And then just like, it's just so amazing. Like we were making something together, and then I got a phone call that I really need to take, and he knew I was hungry. And instead of like being mad that I'm not helping him, he brings me over like a tray of some vegetables. I eat vegetables now. So like all these vegetables awesome. And all these different things, so I can eat it while I'm on the phone while he's making the food. I was like, this is amazing.
Yes.
He says awesome. To me, he's like so often like, I got it. Why don't you go upstairs and take a bath? I'm like, really? Like, oh, because I was like, I can't, I'm gonna have to pick up Peyton. He's like, I'll pick him up, you go take a bath. I'm like, really? Like,
that's so awesome. What a good man.
So, oh my gosh, him. I could go on and on.
Good job, Joel, dude. You are a rock star. I don't know if he still listens, but dude,
he does. Well, he's been a little busy because every second that he's like not doing stuff, he's with me. But I think we listened to one together the other day. But I was wondering if I could share some fun wedding details.
Yes.
Especially women like these things. Like I just wanted to share some special touches And I'll post pictures later. I'll have a link to pictures people can check out and stuff. But just some fun things. So we are getting married in a hangar, like a big, huge hangar. It has these beautiful lights, like strung on the whole thing. Like looks like a big barn inside, which is what I was looking for. And it's like these white lights everywhere. They didn't have them up until last week when we went to visit. I was like, this is so perfect. And there's beautiful
That's
sunlight
rad.
coming down. So I want to get like the ceremony during the light and then the dancing and everything at night. And, I wanted the lights to be on. And so it's totally beautiful. So this is kind of a fun special fact, and you could probably find it in one of our episodes. At the very beginning of Joel and I, our friendship, we weren't even dating. He sent me this song called Dancing on the Water. I talk about it in one of the episodes, and it's about God carrying you through all this. Well, Haley learned it and she's singing it
Nice.
during the wedding while we're doing communion. And then she's going to put down the mic and join us for Unity Sand. So him and his son will do some and we'll do some and we'll mix it all together. So that's fun. And when we are done, when they pronounce us husband and wife, like at the end, we're going to play Celebrate Good Time Celebration. I'm just going to start with Celebrate and I'm going to like dance down the aisle, of course.
Good times. Come on.
Yeah. Yep. That one. And then when we come back into the ceremony, when they announce us, and we have this beautiful like green wall with a neon sign, and we're going to be right in front of that, and it says the Ebersols, and they're going to say, announcing, Mr. and Mrs. Joel Ebersol, and it's going to play "Come Fly with Me" by Frank Sinatra.
That's great.
He's a pilot, and it is kind of perfect. Okay. And then our first dance is called "Until I Found You." I'm going to link it because you guys need to listen to it. It's beautiful, and that's Haley and the DJ singing that, and he's playing the guitar. It's so beautiful, and we're going to learn a little dance move. We should probably learn that soon.
Good idea.
And then we're going to do a father-daughter dance. Like I'll be doing it while he's doing a mother-son dance. And we're doing that from Frank Sinatra, "The Way You Look Tonight."
Nice.
So I thought that would be fun. And then what else I want to tell you about the songs? Okay, I think that's all the fun thing, the line dancing, all the stuff. We've got a photo booth that is also our guest book. Like it's an old-fashioned, you go in it, close the little curtain, it prints out 2 strips. You keep one and put one in the photo thing, and then you sign it.
That's really smart. I like
right?
that idea.
That's our guest book. There's so many like fun touches like this. Okay, then it's time for us to go. Our send away is going to be paper airplanes. So we'll tell everybody make these paper airplanes before we go, and then they're going to throw them not at us, over our heads. Hopefully it's going to be beautiful. And Haley's like,
somebody's getting their eye poked.
That's what Haley said. And like, no, it's going to be cute. So it's like paper airplanes as we like, and we're having a taco dinner. It's going to be so good. Nice. And lemon bars.
Tina would love brownies. That. That's her favorite food.
Oh, nice. Yeah. And lemon bars and brownies and cake. And, we'll have our toast, all the stuff. And then when we leave, it's leaving on a jet plane. And we have a plane parked in front of, we got it all secured. We have the plane ready. Going to be in front of the hangar, and everyone is going to watch us get in there. Hopefully it's not raining. It's predicted to be clear right now, and we're going to get in it. And if it's good weather, we will fly off. And if it's bad, we'll just taxi around to where they can't see us over to the airport, and there are our cars over there. So it's cool. Going to be like super cute, but I'm hoping we get to fly away. I just think it'll be so fun to like,
heck yeah. Literally. Oh my gosh. That's like a dream wedding. That's
right?
So cool. Yeah.
I know. I feel so, I don't like the word lucky, blessed. I feel so blessed. It's all coming together, and like it's going to be beautiful, and all my friends and family are going to be there. Well, not all of them. I know you can't make it, but they'll be there in spirit. And and I'm sure we'll debrief all about it on the next podcast.
Yes.
But and then the next day we are going to Kauai in Hawaii for our
now Joel is not flying you guys to Hawaii.
No, right? I don't think he can do that. Like
I was gonna say, can he do that long of a flight?
No,
I don't know how that works.
The planes he flies need gas every little while, so that wouldn't work.
So you just have a military plane refuel you mid-flight.
Nice. I don't think it'd be as relaxing for him.
No, so. That would be scary.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I get it. That's super cool. And
so it's absolutely a dream.
You know what I think is the most beautiful thing, the most beautiful takeaway from this is, first of all, and a lot of our listeners have heard a lot of your journey too, but especially from my perspective, I remember one of the first things you said to me was that promise that God gave you.
Yeah.
And I've watched it and it's happening. And it's like, it's not only, it goes far beyond, don't take this the wrong way, it goes far beyond my joy for you.
Right.
It goes into seeing what the Lord will do with brokenness.
Yeah.
And because even though it's hard for us on earth to sometimes understand, but Luke and Lacey are an absolute paradise. They don't
Right.
want to come back. So as much as we miss them,
Right.
they are very, very happy where they are. But so that being said, like watching the Lord like complete a promise to you that I remember you
Yeah.
speaking on with confidence when you were broken.
Yeah.
And it's so cool. And so I just like to say on air, I told you privately, but Tina and I say to both of you, congratulations. We're so happy for you. A little bit
Thank you.
jealous, but I'm just
Your
kidding.
day will come.
I know. I'm just
And I
teasing. I'm just
hope
teasing.
to be there celebrating you
Yes,
guys.
that's so awesome, and we're so happy for you. And
Thank you.
I just wanted to ask, do you have anything else you wanted to add to this?
Oh, I think that's a lot of information all about me and my wedding and what I'm feeling. I just feel like God knows the desires of our heart. And if you have a desire to be married again, I believe he'll bring it. I can't tell you when or how long, but I believe he really does listen to those prayers. And it's okay to be praying for your future spouse. God, bring him to me. Like, help me have discernment, like all of those things. And it's just going to be exciting to hear stories of more and more listeners of how God brought them someone if that's what they want.
Yes.
So
and I will say that I prayed because God absolutely does hear our prayers. And in my loneliness and fearfulness and all these things, I started praying to God for another wife. And I remember telling him, Lord, you said we can ask for anything you want, anything we want in your name. And I started praying for a very specific woman.
Yeah.
And in very specific details, that she would come to me and all these different things, well, actually he told me she'd come to me, but and I felt like he did, but it wasn't like audible, but you know how that is.
That's how it was with me too.
I just felt like this strong leading, like I'm going to bring her to you. But just the things I prayed for, the kind of woman that it needed to be, for me. And I feel like he brought me more than what I prayed for. Tina's absolutely perfect for me. And
so great.
So, I understand that gratitude. And, I hope that I was excited to do this episode. I know it was, me interviewing you or whatever, but I was really excited to do this episode because I think it provides so much hope to people that are so hopeless.
Yeah.
It can feel so hopeless to be alone and be widowed and to have lost everything, to have lost your whole life. I know I was talking, but did I cut you off? Was there more you wanted to say, or should I pray?
That's it. And I just wanted to kind of a different subject, but just say, I've gotten the chance to talk to a couple of listeners going through grief recovery, and I just finished my first program where I took somebody through 7 weeks of it. And just to see her quote was, I feel so much lighter, and just to see how this program has helped her has been absolutely amazing. So I'll continue to talk about it because I think it's an amazing program. And I will continue to share the link if you want to book a call with me just to learn more about it, like what this program is it a good fit for you? Just ask me questions and stuff like that. So the link is below if you want to learn more. But I think we're good. You want to pray?
Yeah. Wrap it on up. Yes. Lord God, I just want to first and foremost thank you so much for the beautiful blessing that you have allowed all of us to witness in Michelle's life, the restoration, the healing, and the restoring the joy from her youth. We just thank you for that, and thank you for letting us be witness to it. I pray that you would bless their marriage abundantly and bless their wedding also, that everything just goes perfectly smoothly to plan. We pray for good weather so they can take off and just all the neat things. Pray that nobody gets their eyeballs poked out with paper airplanes. But I just like to pray over all the listeners, that those that are hurting and that this is even hard to hear, I pray that you would allow this to give them hope for their future. Gosh, it's just such a tough season of life for so many of us, and so many listening and all that. And I pray for all them, Lord, that you would touch them and restore what they have lost as well. And I ask all of these things in the name of Jesus, our Savior. Amen.
Amen. Well, if you like this podcast, give us a little bing, 5 stars on Apple Podcasts.
5 stars.
So nice. Or Spotify or anywhere you listen. You can email us at widowedtoosoonm@gmail.com or send us a message on Facebook at Widowed Too Soon, Instagram, all the places. We're in lots of them. So
All of them.
all of them. So anyways, thanks for being here today. And next time I talk to you, I'm going to be a married widow. I will be married. So anyways, we'll see you.
Congratulations in advance. God bless.
Thank you.